All right. Let's make sure we're live on YouTube. Let's refresh. All right, cool. We're live on YouTube. Let's pop out chat. Okay. So I am going to continue on with Boot.dev. So I'm gonna be blunt. I'm a little hungover from Christmas, and I am probably not gonna make it that long today. So, if I can, let me go ahead and share my screen. Capture card. I think everything's good. Cool. If I can make it through loops today, I'm happy. And then we will do... Oh, no, we're doing comparisons today. If I can do comparisons today, that's fine. But what did it send me to loops? I don't know. Okay, we're doing comparisons today. All right, so everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. Let's go ahead and pause the music. And again, I should be live tomorrow, and we're going to wrap up the Python thing, and then we'll probably go to learn shells and terminals. We might even be able to start this tomorrow. I don't suspect we're going to get tripped up with the loops, but we'll see. We shall see. Mac Trism, thanks so much for the follow. Welcome. Okay, let's jump into it. So again, I'm shutting off the music right now, but there's no music on YouTube ever. There shouldn't be, but if you want to listen to music, it will be on Twitch. All right, let's jump in. Enter course. I feel like my brain is so scattered right now. Going into... I'll probably create a video about this, but going into the new year, I think I'm just going to I want to sacrifice a lot. I'm definitely sacrificing alcohol for a while. Just because I don't even know if I like drinking. I like working out. I like feeling good. I like I don't know, I like eating right. I feel like alcohol doesn't appeal to me that much. I'll drink with my family once in a while, but I think I'm just getting tired of it. So I think I'm just going to give up that next year. But I think going into the new year, instead of setting goals, I think I'm going to talk about the sacrifices I'm making. Because I feel like every time I sacrifice something, for some reason, it's way easier to do that and follow through with it. But if I have goals, goals are harder to do. So I'm going to, because I feel like New Year's goals are just completely worthless and no one follows through with them. They last maybe a month or so. And I just think the idea of goals just does not work for New Year's. What's up, Anonymous? Happy holidays, man. Happy holidays. And Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you guys have a good New Year as well. Interesting. Usually when I touch a new language, I just build stuff, especially if you got experience in JavaScript. Yeah, I mean, there are multiple reasons I'm doing this. But one, I think it's completely fine to learn a new language through a course. It'll speed it up. Two, I want to go through Boot.dev and really see what it's about. Because I went through Scrimba, and Scrimba's an affiliate partner, but so is Boot.dev, and I haven't really gone through most of it, right? So there are a lot of reasons, but go through, learn however you want to learn. That's what I'm doing. All right, let's jump into the video. And if you guys have, you know what, let me put a pinned comment. If you have questions or blockers, or if you have question, web dev. All right, let's pin that. Pinned it on Twitch, and then we'll do it on YouTube. Pin that. All right. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope everyone has a good new year. And I'm kind of curious, like, what you're hoping to get out of 2025 too. I should create a video about it. I think I will, because I'm kind of curious what people are going to comment in the comment sections. All right, let's dive in.
Comparing two values is such a fundamental part of writing code. Every day when you log into a website, you enter a password, and that password needs to be compared against the password that you entered when you signed up for the site, however many months before. If the passwords are the same, obviously you'll be granted access, and if the passwords are different, then you'll be given some sort of error message. Comparison operators are the bits of code that allow us to do these comparisons between two values. In this video, we'll be talking about the most common comparison operators in Python, how to use them, and how not to mess up and make some common mistakes that many new developers often make. Let's jump right into some code. So I'm going to create a variable here called result, and we'll just set it equal to lane equals Alan, and then we'll print the value of result. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and run that code. Okay, let's talk through what this code is actually doing. So we have these two strings, Lane and Alan, and we're comparing them using the equality operator. So this is one of the most common comparison operators you'll see. It's two equal signs next to each other. And basically what it does is it takes its left-hand side, right? In this case, the string Lane, and its right-hand side, in this case, the string Alan, and it compares them. If they're the same, then the entire expression evaluates to true. It becomes the Boolean value true, right? If they're not the same, then it becomes the Boolean value false. So in this case, they're not the same. So this expression evaluated to false, and that was saved in the variable called result. And then we printed the variable results to the console, and we saw, let me do it again really quick. And we saw that false was printed. So let's change it up. We'll do lane equals lane. Go ahead and run that. And now I get true, as you probably expected. Now here's a place where sometimes people get tripped up. If we change this capital L to a lowercase l and run it again, think in your mind, what do you expect will happen? And we'll see if you're right. False, right? In code, capitalization matters. These strings are not the same because a capital L is not the same character as a lowercase l. All of the primitive types in Python support this operator. So for example, we could change these to numbers. We could do 1 equals 1 and run that. And we get true, change it to a 2, and we get false, right? So it works with numbers, it works with strings, it works with raw Boolean values, right? So true equals true, that's true. True equals false, that's false, right? So all of the native types in Python kind of out of the box support the equality operator. Another common operator you'll see is the not equals operator. Right? So this is just the opposite of equals. If these two things, right, the left-hand side and the right-hand side are not the same, then the expression will evaluate to true, right? So if I have true does not equal false, and I run that, then we get true. Right? You can think of it as just the complete inverse of the equality operator. Another super common pitfall that gets some people is mixing up these two operators. So we've been over how the double equal sign is the equality operator, right? Both characters together form an operator, and that operator is the equality operator. We've been over how it works. The assignment operator is this one over here on the left. It's the single equal sign, and they mean very different things. The assignment operator is very simple, right? We can create a new variable, let's call it name. And the assignment operator, right, this one right here, just says, I'm going to take whatever's on my right-hand side, in this case, the string lane, and I'm going to assign it into that variable, effectively setting the value of the variable to whatever was on the right-hand side. The equality operator, on the other hand, doesn't do any setting. It doesn't do any creating of new variables. That's what the assignment operator is doing. right? The comparison operator, all it does is it takes a look at its left-hand side and its right-hand side, and if they're both the same, it evaluates to the value true. So we're going to go really step by step here. I'm going to simplify this code, and let's go step by step and look at how the Python interpreter evaluates these operators. So first, it's going to start on line 1, and it's going to see, okay, we have a new variable called result. What value do I need to save into result? And the reason it knows it needs to save a value into the variable result is because we're using this assignment operator here. So it goes over to the right-hand side and it says, oh, I don't just have a value here, like the string lane or a Boolean value, right? I have an expression. So first, I need to evaluate that expression. And whatever that expression evaluates to is what will go into the result variable. So it goes and evaluates this expression. True equals false. Are they the same, right? They're not the same. So this expression evaluates to false. Great. Now the Python interpreter has a single value that it can save into the result variable. And it can move on to the next line where it just prints the value. There are a few more operators to cover. Particularly when we're working with numbers, we'll very often see the less than, greater than operators as well. So for example, results, we could do 5 is less than 6. Think to yourself, what do you think that will evaluate to? We'll go ahead and run it. That one's true, right? We can do 7 is less than 6. I think that will evaluate to, right? It's false. 7 is greater than 6. We also have less than or equal to. You'll see this one fairly often, right? So with 7 and 6, we get false. But 6 is less than or equal to 6. We'll get true. I want to leave you with one last piece of advice as you're learning to code. Do not be afraid to add print statements to your code, right? Your code might be 10 lines long, and at each point in your program, it can be hard to know exactly what's happening, right? You think you've written it all correctly, but clearly something isn't working. Don't be afraid to go add print statements into the middle of the code and check at each step, is this variable really what I think it is? Right? It's a very common practice for debugging, just adding print statements. Of course, be sure to rip those print statements back out, delete them, once you've got your code working.
All right, cool. You hope you got a job in the new year. Hope you do too. Long video. Let's bring back the music. All right. Okay, I feel like the video explained it. I kind of just skipped this. So, what is the assignment? Complete the player 1 wins function. It should return true if player 1 has a high score and false otherwise. Player 1, okay. So, return player 1 score is greater than player 2 score. All right, let's go. Comparison operator evaluations. When a comparison happens, the result of the comparison is just a Boolean value. It's either true or false. Take the following 2 examples. In both of the above cases, we're creating a Boolean variable named isBigger with a value of true. Because 5 is greater than 4, isBigger is assigned the value of true. Create the following variables. Use comparison operators to determine their Boolean values. The context of the parameter name should tell you how to make these comparisons. Return them in this order. All right, let's do it. Edward height. Wait. I just read that. I wasn't even paying attention. All right, to determine their Boolean values. Okay, so is Mustang Edward the same? Okay. And then we are returning them. We'll store them in a variable. That's all right. Mustang. So Edward. Oop, can't do that. Edward height, Mustang height. Is Alphonse Edward same? And then we have is Winry. Alphonse, same. All right, let's go. So, complete the car. Oh my god, this coding sucks when you're hungover. Complete the can withstand blow function. It should return true if the hero's armor is greater than or equal to the damage dealt by the enemy. Okay. It's often useful to only execute code if certain condition is met. If, okay, so that's the conditional syntax. This will be printed. Complete the print status function. If player health is 0, print the text dead to the console. Okay. If player health is equal to 0, then print the text dead. Afterwards, whether or not the player is dead, print the text. Okay. Status check complete. All right. Oh, there it is. I just scroll up. All right, so player health is 0, dead. Cool. Looks good to me. Remember, you can use the double equal operator to check if two values are equal. For example, complete the check swords for army function. The number of swords and the number of soldiers match. Return the string correct amount. Otherwise, return. Okay. So if, I wonder if there's like a else with Python. Okay, so if number of swords, number of soldiers equals number of swords. And I gotta remember, we're not in JavaScript. Then we're gonna print it or return it? Return. Correct amount. If number of soldiers does not equal number of swords, return incorrect amount. All right. To pass, cool. I don't know, maybe we go through loops today too. We'll see how long this takes. I didn't think we were going to be flying through it this much. All right, so remember you can use, oh, I didn't submit it. I did. Yeah, I already submitted. If else. Okay, cool. An if statement can be followed by 0 or more elif, which stands for else if hold on. An if statement can be followed by 0 or more elif. So 0 elifs? Like what is this sentence? Which can be followed by 0 or 1 else statement. Like, why say 0? Just so you don't need to include it. So basically, you can have multiple elifs and one else, but they're both optional. Why not just say that? It's a weird way to say it. All right. So we have elif, elif. We'll just have to remember. It's elif. First, the if statement is evaluated. True. Yeah, I get what it's doing. I'm going to skip some of this. Complete the player status function if the player's health is less than or equal to 0. Okay. So if player status is less than or equal to 0, then we return dead. Elif less than or equal to 5. Return injured. Else return can't do that, right? Return healthy. Dead. Okay. Elif, return injured. Else, return healthy. Okay. Oh, I probably should have just read it. Not supported between instances of function and int. Oh. If health is less than. All right, cool. Should be good. Submit. All right, pretty easy. I do get why a lot of people suggest to learn Python first. Again, like I do like the indentation. I just don't like the like it not honoring the rules of scope. I think it was like with loops and not functions. Functions have their own scope, but like loop, you can use variables inside loops, and maybe it was conditionals. All right. You can't have an elif or an else without an if. You can have an else without a elif. Remember to check if two values are the same. Okay, so there's a bug. Check high score. Add the proper conditional statement to fix the bug. If the name's okay. If the names match, return the string. Okay, so if current player name is equal to high scoring player name, you're the highest scoring player, else return you're not. Cool. If else practice, more practice. Okay, so complete the check high score. If the player name matches the high score name, if player name matches high scoring player name, then return high. I always forget, is it like more conventional to do single or double quotes? Python. Return high. Elif. Okay. If player name is equal to low scoring, then return low, else return neither. Cool. Yeah, we'll probably go through loops too. Might as well just knock out the Python section today. Then we can go into the terminal stuff probably tomorrow. All right, so Boolean logic refers to logic dealing with Boolean. Conditions must be true. Cars are cool. They go faster than 200. Or if they're electric. As we discussed earlier, the logical operators and or can be used to perform Boolean logic. Yep. Return. I'm kind of skipping through a bit. Well, let's see what would happen with 3 and okay. I don't think there's like any gotchas that he's mentioning. I think it's just review or false. All right, so we need a way for a game to track whether a character's attack hits or misses. Complete the does attack hit function. The function should return true if either of the following conditions are met. Okay, if attack roll is not a 1 or and attack roll is greater than or equal to the armor class. Or attack roll is equal to 20. Turn true. Right, capital. Else, return false. Cool. Refer to the following Boolean statement. Okay, what is the value of result? Okay, so is tall is true. Is fat is true. So both of these are true. This is true. So true. Should serve drinks. In Fantasy Quest, players can go to a town's local pub, drinking virtual beer refills their stamina. Complete the function that determines if a bartender should serve drinks to a customer. Only return true if all of these conditions apply. If any of these conditions are false, return false. Okay. So if customer age is greater than or equal to 21. I don't think like I would enjoy working with JavaScript and Python. I feel like I would just trip up over the syntax over and over. Like just pick one. Okay, so if all of these, yeah. Okay, so bartender is working. So on break equals false. And time's at least 5, but no later. Okay, so time is greater than or equal to 5, and time is less than or equal to 10. Return true. Oh, true. Else return false. Cool. Now let's submit that. So can we do something like 10 never mind. No. Okay, let's go. Next one. All right, we're going to do the optional ones. We are adding a new feature to Fantasy Quest that allows characters to rent other players' flying mounts from the Uber ride-sharing guild. The character must return the mount before they have used up all their time. Otherwise, they are charged an overtime fee of additional gold by Uber guild investors. write the check mount rental function. It takes 2 inputs, time used, time purchased. If time used meets or exceeds time purchased and the rental is expired, and greedy Ooper will charge a fee. So the function should return the string overtime charged. Otherwise, return the string no charges yet. Why make these optional? Like, these are, it's very easy to shut off my mind and kind of just do coding challenges like we did previously, but like these, I have to think just a little bit more. Why make these optional? I feel like, I don't know, we'll have to see if like Python is really reinforced through a lot of repetition or not. But I make these required. I don't get why these are optional. Okay, so we have define, and then it's going to be check mount rental that takes 2 inputs, time used and time purchased. Okay, so if time used is greater than time purchased, then return, we are returning, not printing, right? Yeah, we are. Took a while to find. All right, so bonus to not use an else, we could probably just return, I did get that conditional right? Time used is greater than time. Yeah, okay. So no charges yet. I think that's how we complete it without the else. Okay, cool. No. We failed. Can we do an elif? Try to accomplish this without an else statement. No charges yet. Are we live? I gotta plug my Ethernet cable in. I forgot. You are? Okay, all right. Thank you, JP and Northern Chimp. Merry Christmas to the both of you as well. Yeah, we cut out just for a second. Okay, now it's showing. I think we're live again. If I need to, I'll plug the Ethernet cable in. I think we're good, though. We'll see. I usually have it plugged in, but I was doing a pretty thorough cleaning, and everything was getting in the way. All right, so let me solve this, and I'll look at chat. What did we fail? We have 2 and 2. Okay, so what do we want to happen? Expecting overtime charged if time used. Why would you get charged overtime? Meets, I mean, you did say meets or exceeds, and the rental is okay. I guess I didn't read. Cool. How was Christmas? Christmas was really good. It was really good. Again, I like going into the new year. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have drank on Christmas. I never feel good the next day. But overall, like, Christmas was really good. Got to spend time with a lot of people. Yeah. I don't know. I shouldn't have drank. I could have been so much more productive today if I didn't drink. That's what irritates me. I don't know about you. Like, if you are trying to work the next day, man, I feel like I don't even get half of what I could usually get done. Looks good. Okay. Thanks, B Club. Yeah, but how was everyone else's Christmas? What were you guys up to? Spend time with family or kind of just take time for yourself? How to maximize TC as a web dev? TC? What's TC? What do you mean by maximize? I'll probably know once you said total. Hello? Did this just... Why? Okay. What? What? Oh my god. 1 second. Is it? We good? I think what I want to do... Oh my god. It's tighten. Can I twist this? I don't even know if this twists. I don't even remember how I put this on. Oh, that's so annoying. All right, hold on. Let's stand up and do this. Ah. Okay. So I do think this does... What the fuck happened to this? What? How? Like, I think I have to unplug this. I would... Do I really have to? Maybe not. I'm just gonna hope it stays. I really don't want to mess with this right now. And I'll play with it later. All right. So how to maximize total comp as a web dev early on in the career? Be good. Like, there's a series of things, like be good with negotiation. But, I mean, it's how well can you sell yourself? And how much do you know? It's how much value do you have to provide? And sometimes that means, showing them that in the interview. But it really depends on the company. I don't think you're going to get some like generic templated answer of like, this is what you do to maximize the salary that you're going to be making. I feel like there's so much nuance to it. Like, we could talk about negotiation where don't do proper research into what you probably should get paid for that type of position for that number of years of experience, and give a range. Like, don't give a single value. Give a range, because you don't really know what their compensation package is, etc. So, like, a range is very healthy, not to get trapped, because you don't want to change your number after you've realized that you gave too low of a number. I mean, there's like so many different avenues, but yeah. What do you like to drink? Honestly, I'm good with Corona. I like Corona when I'm hanging out with people. I've been drinking White Claw, and I actually like the taste of it. I don't mind it, but I've been drinking it because it's low calories. Whenever I do drink, I don't know. I don't really drink hard alcohol. If I do, I like Corona. I don't really try a lot of hard alcohols. I don't think I drink good alcohol. I don't think you should listen to recommendations for about alcohol from me. But because I've been drinking a lot of like low calorie stuff. Family, spending time with family. Okay, that's what you did over Christmas. That's good. Why did this remind you where I forgot to unmute? I didn't forget. How do I negotiate so I don't get stuck? Again, show your value. Like, go over your accomplishments. What have you actually done to make it worth paying you that much? But yeah, that's a pretty average raise. You can get bigger bumps when you get promotions, but like it all depends on your company's budget, and that's probably a question you ask before you even go into the position. Where, like, what does it take to get a raise over kind of the average 3 to 4%? But I don't think there's some like magic thing that you can do besides just being really fucking good at what you do and being likable. Yeah. White Claw is user friendly. Yeah, kind of is. I see a lot of people hate it. They think it's too watered down. I like it. Personally, I don't mind making less if I get to get more experience overall. Yeah. Yep. I mean, if I do go back in and I try to get a back end position, I'm expecting to probably make less than what I made as a front end developer. But, doesn't mean I have to accept that. Definitely going to negotiate, but I don't even know if I'm going back into the industry. Again, I just want to become a better back end developer because I think it's going to help. I also want to get some exposure to different things. We'll see, though. Combat advantage. Okay, Fantasy Quest doesn't have any way for players to know if they are strong enough to fight certain enemies. If a player's power level is greater than the enemy's defense, that player has an advantage. If the player's power and enemy's defense are equal, they are evenly matched. Otherwise, that player has a disadvantage. On line 4, write an if, else block using the rules specified above. Set advantage, disadvantage, or evenly matched to true, depending on the values of player power and enemy defense. Okay. And if you do have web dev questions, feel free to ask in chat. Usually between challenges, I'll answer them. I'm good on experience. Give me the money. Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing it with experience, but I don't know what to add to that. But I would talk to your manager about it. Like, I think the big thing is a lot of people won't share their expectations with their manager, like what they really want out of the job. Just asking for more money. So like if you're getting underpaid, you might have a manager that, I don't know, might be playing hardball and might not actually be transparent with you with different kind of salary ranges, or they might, just be dishonest and just trying to pay you for as little as possible. But, if you're getting paid decent and you're trying to, especially if you start a new job, you kind of look like an asshole asking for more than a 4% raise. I've seen that happen multiple times, and like it does kind of come off like entitled, where like people within the company that have been there for many years are getting like 3 to 4% raises, and it's like, this is your first year. Like, who the fuck are you to like say, hey, I want more than what everyone else is getting in terms of a bump? It just doesn't come off well. But, if you have years in the company, it's a bit different. JavaScript hoisting is fun. Make it make sense. What don't you get about it? Or make it make sense that it's fun? Will be leaving my senior software engineer role for a staff software role because of the 3 to 5% raises every year, and new manager doesn't want us to work from home anymore. Gotcha. New manager is a weirdo. He's a weirdo because he doesn't want you to work from home, or he's a weirdo just because of like other stuff? That is true. I guess what I'm understanding is I need to try to get promoted. I mean, like, it depends if you actually want to go down that track. You shouldn't just get promoted just for the salary range. You could end up in a position where, like, you don't like it. People don't like you in the position because you don't like it, and it shows in your work, right? I think it's a bad idea to just try to go through a track to get promoted just for more money. A lot of people end up pretty miserable in positions where like they thought that it was going to be worth it, and then they just didn't enjoy the work the same anymore. So be careful what you wish for with that. Especially when you get into, like, I hear this a lot in the software engineering industry. When you get into more management roles, you barely get to code anymore, tons of meetings. You get good developers that just wanted more money, and they're like, yeah, why not? Like, you know, I've been in this industry for a while, let's be a manager. And then they hate it. Like, a lot of good software engineers hate it. I think it's kind of hard to hire good software engineers that want to go through like a leadership path. A lot of people don't want to be managers. They don't want to babysit. They don't want to deal with all that bullshit. So I don't know, that path to always trying to seek more money, like, that's great if it lines up with what you want to do. And if it doesn't, like, prepare to be miserable. All right. So so what are we doing? On line 4, write an if, elif, else block using the rules specified above. Set advantage, disadvantage, or evenly matched to true. Okay, so if then we okay, so if player power is greater than enemy defense, then we set advantage to true. If player power is equal to enemy defense, then evenly matched equals true. Else disadvantage equals true. Cool. Biggest pay bumps come from new roles, though their learning and experience are worth their weight in gold. Oh, though learning experience is worth their weight in gold. Always look or ask for more within reason. Don't consult your coworkers. Management is its own path. Management definitely is. Don't consult your coworkers. Yeah. Yeah, man, that gets messy. But someone else's salary is none of your business, just like your salary is none of their business. But I'm a big proponent of, like, just learn to negotiate from the beginning and know your worth. And it takes research, and it also takes practice with negotiation. But I mean, like, the best negotiation you could do is being willing to walk away. Like, if you really are unhappy with what you're given, like, this is what, you don't be a dick about it. Like, explain why you think you deserve it, but, in a kind manner. But, at the end of the day, the best negotiation tactic is be willing to walk away. And a lot of people aren't in that position. So it's tough, but really is the best place to be in. Yeah, my rationale is planning for the future. I'm young, but I want a family, and thinking about what that's going to look like expense-wise. Gotcha. Yeah, it makes complete sense. Just trying to prepare. But, like, honestly, if you look at most people's spending habits, and probably yours, definitely mine, you're going to make a lot more money with good financial control. A lot of people, especially in the software engineering industry, I don't know especially, but a lot of people, once that salary starts bumping up, their expenses go up too magically, And it's like, mine did. I blew thousands every single month on just random shit. And I still put a little bit into savings, but like I had a bad spending habit. Well, it wasn't a bad spending habit. I just didn't track. And I really didn't prepare that well for my future. But I definitely, it took me a while to develop good financial planning. Like, it took me longer than I feel like it took most people. He's a weirdo because why come in and stop our work from home? Me and my coworkers have been working. You kind of just sound like an asshole. Because they ask you to come back into the office, you call him a weirdo? We're just wasting resources and time. Like, you kind of just sound like an asshole. I wouldn't want to work with you. But what do you mean? I kind of feel bad for your manager. Yeah. That's the first time, like, someone in a while that someone has, like, shared their experience of work where I feel sorry for their manager. Huh. Okay. Round trip. Rogue characters in Fantasy Quest expend energy when they sprint. Tyler is trying to figure out if his rogue has enough energy to get him from the inn to the capital city and back to the inn. He needs to go to the capital to pay his yearly income tax, but wants to return to the inn because it has a complimentary continental breakfast. I don't know if I'd call the manager a weirdo, but revoking working from home could probably make me quit. And if you're not, like, that's the dick thing. Like, why are you calling your manager a weirdo because of a company like, I thought he was, like, I don't know, like, hitting on the women in the office or something, like that kind of weirdo. You know what I mean? But because he implemented a working or he got rid of the working from home policy, like, I don't know, you just come off like an asshole. But it also, like, that's okay. If you want to quit, then quit. There are going to be people that completely refuse to come back into the office. Don't work for that company anymore. Like, that's it. Your manager isn't a weirdo for doing that. You might disagree with his decision, but, like, if you're just going to name call and stuff like that and get petty with it, it's like, maybe you're not working for the right employer. Like, if it brings that out in you, maybe you need to seek out another employer. Working from home is worth its weight in gold. Dude is checking keystrokes per hour. Well, okay, so that's the kind of stuff that you should have added. Because, like, just calling him a weirdo for the working from home thing is like, dude, come on. Checking keystrokes per hour, I think that's becoming more common. I don't think that's weird. I think you underestimate the amount of people that will not be productive at home.
Hey, listen!
Compounding interest and the S&P 500 is the way to grow money when you're sleeping. Aussie model never gets sold. Aussie model never gets sold. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas tree. Christmas tree.
Yo, I have something else to fix on my stream, but hit Naudio stream. Thanks so much for that donation, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the $5. I do appreciate that. What the fuck was that? I don't even know what I need to fix there. Like, what just happened? Compounding interest and the S&P 500 is the way to go. S&P has been lowering, didn't it? I think some people were afraid it was market was going to crash after seeing. Actually, I don't know. Like, over time, yeah. But lately, what the hell's been going on? Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Yeah, it's a kind of a big dip. Is a way to go. Grow money when you're sleeping. OSI model never gets old. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, by the way. Yeah, I honestly, there are people that'll give better financial investing advice than I can, for sure. I do what I know. That's why I probably will never own any rentals either, because I don't know real estate. I don't know how to be a landlord and what properties to invest in. I don't know any of that. I like to stay in my own lane with making money. That's pretty much like building products, mentoring, and then coding, if I want to go back into that. But I do need to learn more. But would you say it makes more sense to, I don't know, like, dude, I'm so bad with this. If you invest in your 401k, there's a certain percentage that's tax-free, or is it all tax-free? I think it's all tax-free, right? And then usually you'll get like a percentage that the employer might match. But to dump money into an account that isn't taxed, I feel like those avenues are going to be like your number one thing, right? Am I just like way out of my depth and I have no idea what I'm talking about? But like what I'm saying is, wouldn't you want to invest more money into your 401k, or something where that money doesn't need to be taxed versus dumping it into the S&P 500? But yeah, checking keystrokes per hour, I think that's fine. I think that's normal for remote. And I think what you probably just don't know, there are a lot of people that are not productive and that'll like kind of like even move the mouse and make sure their laptop doesn't go to sleep and stuff like that. Like there are a lot of people with remote. So while you might be a completely honest person, there are a lot of people that do not have that integrity. So I get why companies do it. And it sucks if you have integrity and you're still being tracked. That does suck. It doesn't feel great. But there are a lot of people that bitch about it also because they don't have any integrity and they try to cheat the system. So I don't. And Gate, like I just don't agree with you. I don't think he's weird at all for that. And Gate check-in and out times. I don't think that's weird. I think you just need a new employer. I think it's just a mismatch. I think you need a new employer. I think he's a completely normal manager from what you've described. A bit hovering, for sure. But again, you get employees that like you just can't trust. It sucks. You find out later after they've been hired and like you got to be on top of them. There's some employees that need babysat like that. Like they need someone on top of them. You get a variety of personalities as a manager. I'm telling you, like a lot of people, a lot of software engineers will go into the management track and they just like, they don't like it. You get a variety of, like management would be incredibly easy without the people, but you get a variety of personalities you got to deal with and you try to implement policies that benefit the team the most and like kind of fit well with most of the employees. Companies should just be measuring what you actually output. I don't think so. I think especially in the beginning, when people are growing, like output is really, I don't think output is that black and white to measure all the time. And I think there are other aspects of being a good software engineer and just a good employee in general that to find metrics to measure every single thing, I don't think it's as easy as you think. And especially when someone is newer and their output sucks, you want to measure effort. Effort's important. You can work with an employee that is putting a full amount of effort in. Now, I don't agree with people that like to take advantage on company time and not do work because they got through something a little bit faster. I don't agree with that. But I also don't agree with employers not respecting a good work-life balance and asking you to work extra hours. But like, if you want to do that shit, like just start your own company. Like I'm 100% for managers in that respect where like, I think you need to become a manager and get some experience under your belt with that to realize how difficult some personalities really are and how difficult it is even to like hire the right person. And it's a lot of stress and a lot of bullshit you have to deal with. Make a ticket for an employee and they get it done on time. I think you should be able to trust them if they're dragging their feet on tasks and constantly, then don't trust them. I do agree with you that some employees can earn trust. So we're talking about different things. And if an employee gets a ticket done on time, are we talking about like how we're just measuring output and then they could do whatever the fuck they want after that? Versus someone who, or are we talking about tracking them? Because I don't believe employees should be just bullshitting and playing video games and stuff on company time. I don't agree with that. But if we're talking about tracking, I do agree that some people earn more trust, but then you play favorites. And that gives a whole host of problems. A lot of like, I've had this happen where like my manager was accused of playing favorites and it gets messy very quickly. You get people that quit over that shit. So you want to implement policies that are applied to everyone as much as you possibly can. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a manager that does that, but maybe that's not a good fit for you. And I think some people need to just seek out managers where like that is a good fit, you know? Oh shit, I had Twitch minimized. I'm sorry. Personally, I don't mind making less if I get, nope, read that. Personally, I would rather work in the office than at home. I'm not like blending. Yeah, I don't like blending it either, VTS. I do like having a home office, but I don't do a good job of only doing business in this office. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's really difficult to create that separation. It's all tax-free once you are retirement age, I think. Yeah, so, but it's tax-free to dump it into it. You just can't dip into it. If you use it before retirement age, yes. You do get taxed on it, I believe. A lot of people don't work as well as they think they do at home. Like, people get mad at me for that. I don't care. Like, it's just true. Like, you have certain personalities that can make it work, but it takes education. And a lot of people don't want to humble themselves to realize how unproductive they are at home to get better at it. It's a lot of people just like to bitch that they have to go into the office, but they're the same people that... Most of them are the same people that don't want to humble themselves and be critical of themselves to improve their habits at home. They just want to be at home and they want to be given that and entitled to it. Just never had a manager like that. My past managers never tripped on working from home. I only work Monday. Most companies don't even have that policy. So I only work Monday through Thursday. New guy is mad over me working one day from home. Started leak coding. Yeah, just find a new place. That sounds like that's the next step for you. Most companies will have you come into the office. So, like you've kind of been in that situation for a while. I get why you don't want to go back to the office, but if it's not a good fit, move on. Home is just me relaxing and being lazy. That's how it is to a lot of people. Not gonna lie, I thought working from home was a bad idea like you, and I got working from home job by accident, and I see the complete opposite. But I've had both, though. Of course, most people like working from home, but most people aren't willing to be critical of like how bad of or how unproductive they can be until they really take time to build good habits. And it takes a lot of discipline to do it. So I've encountered both. I'm not saying I like working from home, by the way. I'm pro working from home. Like, I would prefer a job where I get to work from home. But that doesn't mean that we gotta like be full of shit and just pretend like there are no cons to it or there are no challenges to it. And then if you don't have any empathy for managers that gotta deal with all the bullshit and lazy employees and stuff like that, you're just entitled. You're just acting like an entitled child. Like demanding work from home. Like, if you can't have any empathy whatsoever, like that's just entitlement. You're not trying to empathize with the other side. It's why these conversations never go anywhere, because you have a bunch of entitled employees that don't have any empathy for the manager. They don't try to alleviate any concerns, because like, if you really want to work from home, you really want to implement that policy at work, like it takes empathy in understanding the concerns of the manager for that policy. But people kind of just want to demand it like they're owed it, instead of having an empathetic conversation with your leadership team about how you think it can make the team more productive and happy and a better work-life balance. Like, people just want to bitch. I think what I'm tired of is like, people just want to bitch. I'm tired of people bitching without any meaningful change. They just want to complain. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't speak personally. My whole company is working from home, so manager is cool. And yeah, there are entire teams that do that and they stick with it and just apply there. It's going to be really hard, honestly, to change your manager's mind with that. And it really needs to be done gradually, and just a little trust is given, and show that things are like, you remain productive or even more productive if that's your argument. And happier. Like, if that means like you're, more pleasant to be around, that's also another bonus. But yeah, again, I just like, I'm so over people just bitching and feeling entitled to things. It just does nothing for anyone. It's like, man, you see a shit on Twitter and Reddit all the time, people grandstanding, like, just shut the fuck up already. It's like, none of you are going to have a meaningful conversation with anyone where you are going to make an impactful change. You are just bitching because you feel entitled to something and you're not getting it. I think the point I was making earlier is that managers should trust an employee by default. If the trust is broken, then go to the keystroke counters. Again, like, having people tracked and some people not tracked, well, it might make sense to you. Having policies that are only applied to certain people will get people to quit. Like, people get pissed at that. You have to apply the policies as much as you possibly can. Sometimes that stuff gets leaked, but honestly, like, I don't believe in hiding the tracking either. Like, if you're going to track employees, just say, listen, we implemented this policy, we had issue with some people, like, we're tracking your shit. Like, I don't agree with employees doing it behind your back. Like, if it really is for the betterment of the team, be open about it. And explain why. Give your reasoning. Not everyone is going to agree with it. Not everyone will feel that comfortable about it. But I think the more openness and transparency that team has with stuff like that, it's easier to get over stuff like that. But yeah, it exactly. It creates division, and stuff like that tends to get leaked eventually. But I've seen managers get accused of playing favorites, and it gets people to quit. Like, flat out, it gets people to quit. It doesn't, like, there's a variety of reasons why that manager might choose it, but even the perception of playing favorites, you can lose half your team. Right? Because when we start talking about, like, when people start perceiving that there is no future for you at that company because you think your manager doesn't really, like, your manager likes you less than someone else, so of course that other person is going to get the promotion over you, right? Like, that's the perception a lot of people have, and sometimes it's true. Like, it's a good enough reason to look for another company. Have you been a manager? Yeah, I was a supervisor at the Purdue Co-Rec in the Aquatics Center, which is, I don't know, I barely couldn't do anything. And then I was an aquatics director later on before I became a developer for about like 25 staff. And I had to deal with more emotions because I managed a lot of mostly teenagers. And teenagers, I don't want to manage teenagers. They're too emotional. Thing is, the other managers in our org are not stopping working from home. I just looked up and got the wrong manager. I'm in the office 3 to 4 days. Dude should just chill. All the work is getting done. Again, you're just bitching to bitch. I don't give a shit. You're just bitching to bitch. Who cares? Like, find another job. Like, nothing is accomplished with you just bitching about it. If you don't like the manager, it's not a good fit. Find another job. Like, that's all there is to it. Might not be what you want to hear, but like, what good is complaining about it going to do? Nothing. It doesn't accomplish anything for you in life. And I hope you use that, like, actually just find a new job, right? Because a lot of people will stay in the current job. They'll just complain and complain and complain and do nothing about it. That's the worst thing you can do. Then you just become a miserable person to be around because you're not happy with your work. You don't want to be there. Like, get the fuck out and go to a different job where you're going to like it. There's no use bitching. Just take action on it. I like these talks. These are much better. I like these kind of discussions. But I like kind of the format of this where we can just like code a bit, learn a bit, and then chat about stuff like this. Because stuff like this is fun. Rogue characters in a fantasy quest expend energy when they sprint. Tyler is trying to figure out if his rogue has enough energy to get him from the inn to the capital and back to the inn. He needs to go to the capital, pay his yearly tax. But wants to return to the inn because it has complimentary... I don't even know why I'm like... I want to complete this last challenge, but I'm so out of it right now. Code, learn, shout. I love it. Thoughts on AI reshaping the industry? Right now, it's reshaping the industry for worse. It's making software engineers worse. And given all the user input, it's just pushing way too much shitty-ass code out into our code bases. Like, at this point, like I've said this before, but Devin was so horrible that I felt bad for it, and I wanted it to get better. Like, I was rooting for it to take my job or take like all software engineers' jobs. For like, when I saw Primogen using it, I'm like, this is so bad. Like, how have we invested so much money into AI and this is what we have? Like, this is complete trash. I am disappointed. And I think it's just pushing a lot of shitty code out. And it's just more shitty code for us to maintain. I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed. But how is it going to reshape our industry? Like, give me something, give me a model that is promising and doesn't get warped and ruined within 6 months. Because I see so many people pushing AI, and I'm just like, I'm so tired of the trash that it produces. That's where I'm at with AI. Like, I don't know where it's going to be in 3 years. I don't know where it's going to be in 5 years. I just know it's making our industry worse right now. I have a take on this. I think it's going to make everyone into full stack and give each person more responsibility. Why would it make everyone into full stack? Pythonic math? I'm honestly, yeah. I'm going to pause here. Like, my mind just is not in this today. Again, I'm not drinking for a while, so just kind of like a one-time thing, but I am looking forward to this hangover going away. I complained, and when we go back on the 7th, they said I can switch to another manager. Told dude it's nothing personal. I was mad because my friend girl is cool with him, and he doesn't care about her. You keep, like, adding more details to this. I feel like you keep changing the entire context of the situation as you finally add more details to it. Okay. So, you're switching. Okay, so you took action. Good. Yeah, Twitch has more characters. I get it. Yeah, I'm just in full disagreement. Like, again, I don't think you're having any empathy with it. And I know the shit some managers have to go through. Again, it like... Yeah, when you kind of just like call him a weirdo, you kind of just come off like an asshole. I think that's what like put me off. Like you just came off like an asshole. But that's the action that you take. Like if you don't like your situation, you don't like the manager, the way they do things, you just move on. You just switch. But if he's playing favorites, it sounds like it, so you're saying on the same team, one of your friends, she can work from home? Because that's like way different. Is that what you're saying? AI sucks and current models just repeat common patterns in the most common frameworks. No way it replaces anyone. The only people saying, like, honestly... 99% of the people saying that it's going to replace software engineers were just never smart enough to become software engineers. Like, a lot of people just want to see the world burn. They want to, like, they're kind of sore, they're petty about it, or they don't get along with software engineers. They might be in product positions, they might be in other positions where they have to pay software engineers a lot of money. Some people just wanted big discount. But a lot of people saying AI is going to replace software engineers, they're generally dumb people. Like, that's the truth. A lot of those people are just very dumb people. Because I've seen a lot of, like, I've seen some aspiring developers say that, but some people that got laid off will kind of justify, like, oh, industry's going under, everyone's fucked, right? And they're saying, oh, AI is going to replace software engineers anyway. So I've seen a lot of, like, really petty and sore people saying it. It's not that there aren't other personality types making an argument, but it's a lot of petty people pushing that. I think with a little AI help, a lot of web dev tasks are within reach for anyone with the right amount of knowledge. And companions are expecting more and more. Industry already trending to full stack. The industry is not trending to full stack. You're seeing less siloed positions in startups, but there's a lot of positions growing that are more specified in larger companies and enterprise companies, like very large companies. You're seeing more positions that are full stack in the startup world. Yes. That's just because startups are not even hiring new developers. They kind of just are trying to hire the least amount of developers to get the product out and make money and revenue so they don't tank. So they're hoping for full stack. But no, with a little AI help. No, not a lot of web dev tasks are within reach for anyone. No, that's completely wrong. That's just false. Yeah, that's just a really bad take. The number of times marketing has tried to use their tools to do web dev tasks, like it's such a shit show to clean up as a software engineer. I hate marketing having anything to do with my code base. I hate it. Don't like put yourself into the pipeline. Don't like push stuff out. Like dealing with marketing that does that bullshit, like it's just horrible for the software engineering team. And it often, so you'll get like low code solutions and you'll get marketing that are starting to use AI tools to be able to try to code. And it's just, I think a lot of software engineers are like, you can get something done, but you're not going to get it done right. And you're not going to build any sort of like maintainable code base from it. It's just going to be trash. Oh, with the right amount of knowledge. Well, yeah. I mean, if you know web dev, you can do web dev tasks. Like, right amount of knowledge, what does that even mean? Of course, if you know enough knowledge to do web dev, you could do web dev with a little help of AI, yes. But, like, what does that even mean? AI is going to ruin aspiring devs? Do you think so? Why do you think that? Yeah, but you can do them way quicker. It's a productivity multiplier. And you continue to become a worse software engineer for it. It depends on what you use it for, but if you're having AI write your code for you, you're essentially outsourcing your critical thinking skills to the AI. Software engineers are becoming worse software engineers through too much dependency on AI. Software engineers are becoming dumber, worse at their job. By the time I vet AI code, I could have written it in half the time. It produces a lot of bugs. It does. It's like, I'm not talking about AI in 3 years. I don't know where AI is going to be in 3 years. Right now, it is complete shit, and it's ruining code bases. It's a horrible thing for software engineers. Now, there are good use cases of it, but a lot of software engineers are not using it in a way that they should. They're having it write the code for them. They're having a lot of shitty code get pushed into their code base. It's just not good right now. But yeah, I am curious why you think it's going to ruin aspiring devs. Do you think like, are you thinking that too many aspiring devs are having it write code for them, or you think the mentorship they get from it is bad? It's too easy to offload the work to AI and thus removing learning by struggling. I wonder like how many aspiring devs are. So here's the thing. I think aspiring devs that do that don't really like to problem solve with coding. I think there are a lot of aspiring devs that kind of want a cheap and quick way into the industry, and they think AI might be able to deliver that to them, and they were just never going to become software engineers anyways. I almost see like not AI ruining aspiring devs, like their futures or their careers. I see it just like being another filter. Like if you're the type of person to depend on AI in that way to grow as a software engineer, you're not going to make it as a software engineer. I see it as a natural filter. So people that use AI and are going to become good software engineers, they use it in the right way. Proper mentorship, not giving answers, or not outsourcing their critical thinking. Might as well just go full. I'm obviously not doing any more Boot.dev today. We'll finish it up tomorrow. And I'm going to bring this over so I can talk to you guys over here. I thought a 401k was all taxable. If you spend it early, I think it is. I don't think it's taxable I don't think it is. I don't think it's taxable if you don't spend it after retirement. I needed to write a pretty complex SQL query for something the other day and just got the query through a couple of prompts, checked out the query it gave me, made sure it was all good, did some slight tweaks, and then it was all good. All said and done, took me about 10 minutes writing the whole thing myself. Would have taken an hour. I mean, it probably took you an hour because, you're not as good with SQL as, you could be. Yes. Can it temporarily speed up your workflow? Yes. But again, you're becoming a worse developer for it. Now, I would argue if you really don't write a lot of SQL queries, like it's a one-time thing, maybe that's not that big of a deal. But if you're outsourcing you writing that all the time, and frequency matters too. But again, like if it's a one-time thing, that's negligible, right? It doesn't matter. You're making an argument that it's making more people way more productive when you did it once. Then your point doesn't even matter. Like, what is your point? Who cares about that one-off thing? Are you drunk? No. Why would I be drunk? I'm hungover, not drunk. Apparently, AI use is rampant in universities. Dude, there are a lot of computer science students cheating. That's a big problem in school right now. What's up, live stream? How you doing? A lot of one-time things come up every now and then. One time I needed to do something with an API that had shitty documentation. Yeah, and that's a good use case for it. I'm not saying there aren't good use cases for it. I'm saying that if you're using it to write code for you, you are outsourcing your critical thinking. You are becoming a worse software engineer for it. Haven't made it that far down the Codecademy data engineering path yet, to be clear. I don't see your other message. It didn't go through, Joshua. I try not to use it for things I know I can do, but the stuff where I know it's just a brick wall, it really helps. It can be helpful, yes. It's a good lookup. Again, like, I think you're arguing with yourself at this point. If your argument is like AI is useful, I agree with you. But the problem is when you have it continually write code for you, like if you're just going to become a worse software engineer. Way too many people are outsourcing their problem solving skills to AI. That's going to affect you outside of coding too. Wait, Sukuna, was that like, do you have any chat activity? Did you just come in here and ask if I was drunk? Thought I recognized your name. You have no chat no, I'm not talking to you. Go away. Shoo. What's up, Jay? I'm pretty good. How are you? How was everyone's Christmas, by the way? AI, in my opinion, is best for boilerplate code. It can be, like it is good at generating boilerplate code. I do agree with that. I still think it's healthy to not lean on boilerplate code all the time and refresh. Again, at least in the JavaScript world, I highly recommend a lot of JavaScript developers be very careful about the amount of boilerplate code they use. It's very easy to just be comfortable leaning on abstractions and not really knowing how they work, or not really diving back into, like, just refreshing and doing different challenges with, like, coding challenges that'll test your fundamentals. I think in the JavaScript world specifically, we have to, like, force ourselves to dig a bit deeper, because the industry does not promote that very often. I use Claude mainly for CSS. It's crazy how good it is. I don't know if I've used AI for CSS, to be honest. But this AI code is going to cause the cybersecurity job market to boom. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's a good take. Yeah, that's producing a lot of shitty code, a lot of vulnerabilities, bugs. You might be right. Thoughts on TypeScript? I like it. I got really comfortable with JavaScript, or I mean, like, more than any other language. And I got used to it. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Shaka, thanks for the follow. Welcome. But yeah, I got used to it. So I didn't come from a typed language, and I know how much people who came from that background love typed languages. I kind of like TypeScript. I don't think I'll use just JavaScript again, if I can avoid it. I do like TypeScript. But I don't know. I don't care that much, to be honest. I think it does make the JavaScript world better. But yeah, I don't have any strong opinions. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't care about TypeScript, to be honest. Custom types is a game changer. And I'm also not good with TypeScript, just to be very upfront. I'm not that good with it. And maybe I'll like it more the better I get with it, because I do feel like it slows me down quite a bit. But again, anything that's new to you is going to slow you down until you get more comfortable with it. Not sure how I feel about AI, but maybe it should be narrow who can use it. Then how do you choose who to let use it? Because I think that's where you get into like a really messy controversy. Who gets to use it and who decides who gets to use it? What's up, Shaka? How you doing? Merry Christmas. I know it's a day later, but hope everyone had a good Christmas. Do you think it's worth it to learn and have a few projects in Golang? I feel just knowing JavaScript, Python, CPP, I don't know what CPP is, isn't enough. Want to beef up my resume? I think spreading yourself too thin like that is going to be worse for you than aiming for that variety of languages. It depends on the type of jobs you're going for and how much experience you have. I don't think Go hires a lot of new developers. Or companies don't hire new developers into those types of positions. But I would argue, like, how much depth do you really have in a single project? Oh, C++, gotcha. If you're hopping into different, like, if you're building stuff with different languages, I have a gut feeling you don't really have a complex enough project to show off. Like, you don't have that capstone that's really impressive. I think that's my concern with that. Why not just write like C++? I guess maybe because it's easier to just not move your pinky or something. Were you using PHP after it added types? No, I use PHP. I don't know, 10 to 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. My company is very strict on AI. They only allow Copilot, and they have a team that monitors its usage. Really? Why do they do that? I'm curious about that. Software architect specializing in C++ and assembly language programming, experience with CSS, HTML, Java, and JavaScript. What do you think? What do I think about what? 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 What do you mean, what do I think? Do you have goals? Like, are you asking me, like, is that enough for a certain type of position you're, like, what do I think about you as a person? What do you mean? What do I think exactly what I just read you said. I know a lot of, I mean, like, you need to be careful about the private information that you add to tools like Claude and ChatGPT. That can get exposed. And once, like, if you don't, because I think at ChatGPT, you can select a certain option to not have it learn from your input. But by default, it does not do that. And a lot of people's private information has gotten leaked. A lot of private company information has gotten leaked. Because we deal in sensitive data, so it can't get leaked to the AI. Although, since it's on GitHub, it probably, yeah, it's on GitHub, it might have been. Sensitive data. What sensitive data are you putting in your code base? I mean, if it's not a public repo, I don't know how the AI is going to get access to that. Users' personal stuff. I mean, is it a private repo? If it's private, AI is not going to have access to that. Otherwise, Microsoft is not doing a good job at blocking that access. But yeah, AI should not have access to private repos. If it's public, then who cares? Yeah, it's already out there. It's public. Kind of curious, like, what do you guys, anyone else that hasn't contributed, like, what do you think about AI and what it's going to do to the industry? A lot of people have very different opinions about it. Sometimes I think people are just, like, hopeful and they just shit on AI because they're afraid of it. But they are actually worried that it's going to replace a lot of jobs. They're all private, but I meant Microsoft trained their models on all GitHubs anyways. When did they say that they trained it on private repos? When did that ever come out? Did it? Like, did they actually say that? So you're just assuming, you have no proof. You're just like, that's a random ass assumption. Okay. Yeah, there's no proof of that. You're right. As a CS student, I mainly have in-depth C++ work. But for front end, I built a full stack app with Django and React, including auth, CRUD. Still, I need a capstone project, especially since I'm aiming for a front end internship this summer. Okay. I don't know how Golang will help with that. I don't think it's going to help with that. If you want a front end, like, if you're aiming for front end ultimately, I don't really care about what you built with the CRUD project. I'm kind of interested on what kind of complex React project you've built. Like, if you could build a CRUD project, great. Like, build something useful. What have you built that's useful and impressive? I'm doing a DevOps project. I think it's the future for IT, learning Terraform, AWS, Python, working on cloud resume project. Okay, cool. Yeah, if you want to go DevOps, go DevOps. IT is, like, pretty far-reaching with different types of positions. I don't think, like, DevOps... You just think... Are you basically just saying, like, DevOps is going to be popular or something like that? Are there still front-end entry-level roles? Yep, a ton. Of course there are. Less than 2021 and less than in 2019, for sure. But yes. AI will hurt junior engineers and probably put pressure on mid-level, and maybe more specialized roles will become more safe. DevOps, network reliability, but overall I think we will be okay. Yeah. It's definitely going to raise the bar, and I don't think it has yet. That's not why the bar has been risen for junior developers, not yet, but in the future, yes, it will. I agree with that. Yeah, some people argue like being more of a generalist is probably the way to go. I would argue either a specialist that's really good at something or a generalist is the way to go. Both of those are going to work for people. But again, if you're going to be a specialist, you better be damn good at it, because I think those positions are like they're already I don't know. I feel like those positions are going to be fewer in the future. I think AI is helpful in getting over a wall for new approaches and script testing until reaching solutions, and use the entire experience to solidify previously empty pocket of knowledge. In script testing, what do you mean script testing? What's that mean? By the way, good to see you, Don. I'll jump on Twitch because that's better for your reach. All right. Sounds good, Divine. Yeah, Twitch, no one comes to Twitch. Everyone comes to YouTube. It's fine. It's no problem. But yeah, it's really hard to grow in Twitch. It's really hard. Regards to AI, I think late 2025 non-technical person and PM will start pushing AI to replace junior full stack developers. I don't think there are a lot of junior full stack developers. I don't think full stack positions are really hiring junior developers for the most part. I mean, yeah, they'll probably push. I don't think they're going to get anywhere with it. I think companies are just, again, I'm looking forward to companies trying to shit can their software engineering teams and watching them go under when they produce a complete clusterfuck of a code base. And they really have no idea how to filter a lot of the output that AI is giving. I don't think they're going to be that dumb to do that, though. I don't know. Like, AI is so bad right now. I don't think that's going to be a thing in 2025. Cloud industry projected to grow to a few trillion. I work in it, support it, but will upskill the cloud admin, then a cloud engineer. Okay. I don't think it's going to do much unless the people who use it understand what to do with it. Else it's just a tool to do shortcuts and not continue to grow. Right now, AI seems to be romantic. I agree with you. I think we'll see attempts at trimming the software engineering team with tools like Devin, or just, in reality, just hooking up tools like ChatGPT or other models to generate code and have more senior engineers do code reviews and change stuff. We'll see a bit of that. I'm not going to pretend like there aren't going to be companies or leadership that tries to trim their software engineering team in that way. I don't think it's going to be successful. And, you know, it's companies might try to get away with it. I just don't. I think it's going to blow up in a lot of leadership's faces, product managers' faces. It's not going to go as well as they think it is. Again, because like we keep depending on a lot of user input to continue to train the models, and it just, I don't know how we get past that. With user input, it continues to become dumber and dumber and dumber and less useful. Like it's going to go through periods of, I guess, usefulness, but then it just keeps getting worse. I don't know how we get past, like if you really want to train it on a lot of data, you're going to want to continue to evolve it with user data, but it just continues making it worse. I'm not in that field. I don't know how we get past that. But that's a cycle that keeps happening. I'm wondering when that cycle is going to get broken. But as long as that cycle continues to happen, it's not going to have a huge impact on the industry. Not in a negative way. We might be an odd place, but my company, everyone is full stack, and we do all DevOps, front end, back end, QA. Yeah. Most companies, in terms of like the junior level, most companies are not going to hire juniors for full stack positions. They're hiring more mid-level and senior. Of course, there are exceptions to that rule. But yeah, how large is your company, by the way? What's up, Godspeed? How you doing? Missed your previous streams. We talking about AI now. Prime had a great little stream on O3. Oh, did he? I didn't see that one. I'll have to check. Or no, I think he requires a sub to watch it. I probably won't watch it. What was good about it? What was he building with it? When running into errors, scripts failing, or experiencing unintended results, AI, if used correctly, can amplify learning speed if it's used as a tool, not the solution. I agree with you. For about the last week, I keep hearing a lot about AI agents, and they seem to be the new tech hype that no one really understands yet. I think everyone could, or most people can get on board with, like, my horse is amazing. Daniel, thanks for the sub on YouTube. I think like almost everyone can get on board with the fact that like if you continue to refuse to be tech savvy going into 2025, like, man, you are going to have a rough time going into 2026, 2027. You have to get involved in tech in some way. A lot of jobs are going to continue to get replaced. I think at this point, you can't avoid not being tech savvy. We're going to have kind of open areas, more like less populated areas, where you have towns that try to preserve traditions, including the industries that are supported in those areas. Like, you're going to have people that constantly fight against tech and appreciate kind of like the old way of doing things. You will always have that to some extent. Tech will not replace all jobs in 50, 60 years, 70 years. You'll always have pockets of that. But overall, like, you have to get on board with tech if you want to increase your chances that you're not going to like not have a job and be able to make sustainable income in 10 years. Like, there are people that absolutely refuse to get on board with tech whatsoever, and I think that is a really, really bad choice. But I'm just not convinced that anyone is going to become more marketable. I shouldn't say anyone. I think most people don't even have to look at AI. They don't even have to interact with it. You have to be tech savvy to some extent, but I don't think in the next few years you really need to even touch AI to be marketable in this field. I think we have a long way to go. And I think a lot of people are rushing people to try to get involved in or get AI use of involved more in their day-to-day, in their life, in their work, when all you're really doing is learning some prompting. People keep stressing to people like, you have to get good with the AI. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? We're not talking about building language models. We're like, people are actually pushing others, like, use AI in what you're doing or you're going to fall behind. It's like, it's a meaningless statement when people say that, because if you're already, like, I'm talking to people in this channel, if you're already trying to learn to code and you have to spend years learning how to create prompts, you're not going to make it in tech at all. Like, you might just be really, really stupid. I don't think anyone, if you don't want to touch it, I don't think anyone has to touch AI in 2025 to be marketable in this field. You just don't. Most people that do are probably, if they're having it write the code, they're going to be worse software engineers. You're going to be a better software engineer for you actually critically thinking and problem solving on your own. I don't get the push to, like, use AI and learn AI now, or you're going to fall behind. I think people like that are just gaslighting and they have no fucking idea what they're talking about. But I just want to say that because I know a lot of people feel pressured to use it. You do not have to use it. And what I'm seeing is people are becoming way worse of developers with overdependency with it. But again, I mainly look at newer developers, and I see a lot of newer developers that they just don't use it in the right way. You don't want to sub to his YouTube channel? No, his Twitch. I think to look at his past broadcasts, because I don't think he has that on YouTube. To watch his past broadcasts, I think you have to sub to his channel on Twitch. Like, for our software engineering team at our company, we now are going to do incident management and alerts and observability and coding. Bar is getting higher, but we definitely are hiring. Very cool. The bar does continue to rise. You are right about that. I appreciate the anecdotal experience. Very important question. What makes a good portfolio? What should I include and showcase? Where can I stand out? Depends on the job that you're applying to. Anton Tech, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Yeah, it depends on the job you're applying to, the position. What kind of product are you going to be working on? Having a capstone project that solves a similar problem or more basic version of that can be very helpful. But again, I'm going to post this link in chat because it kind of goes over the mindset I think you should have if you're asking the question, like, what types of portfolio projects should I build? What's up, Hector? How you doing? I just want an AI girlfriend, to be honest. Why? Yeah, why? I like that's an honest question. Why do you want an AI girlfriend? No judgment. Honest question. I don't know if you're trolling, though. Have you heard of Code Platoon? Saw your video of them since well, yeah, if there's a video about it, I've heard of them. Yeah. Was looking into them. It's free. It's free because they're taking your government check, right? Also, look into other coding boot camps where, like, I had a conversation with them. I developed a lot less confidence of his program after my one-on-one or it wasn't one-on-one. It was, I think he had an instructor in the call too. But he kept, like, emphasizing, like, completion rate of the program as, like, a successful metric. And I remember thinking, like, why the fuck are you so obsessed with this completion rate. Who gives a shit about like a completion rate? People, I want to see like a placement rate. I don't give a shit about your completion rate. I don't know if I developed a lot less confidence with this program after my conversation. I haven't like dug into it though. It's been a while. But also look into coding bootcamps that will accept your GI Bill. Other coding bootcamps might accept that. The senior engineer on my team thinks 10 years from now, engineers will just be prompters. Oh, yeah. Anyone that says, like, in 10 years this is going to happen, I just don't care. I don't know about you guys. I just don't care. No one knows what's going to happen in 10 years. We were supposed to have, like, the streets flooded with, well, not streets, but I guess they would hover, but we were supposed to have flying cars a long time ago. And they were supposed to be popular and, you know, like most people were supposed to have them by now. I just don't care about these like predictions in 10 years and 25 years. I just don't care about that length of time, you know? So my response to that is literally just like, okay. Thoughts on React 18? You played around with it? Just another, I don't know. It's React. I don't really care about it. Jay, you should probably watch my recent video about me switching to backend. I just couldn't care less about the React ecosystem anymore. It's fine. It does the job, and you got to learn it if you want to become a front-end developer. Yeah. Wouldn't the GI Bill be better used on a CS degree? Yes. Yes. Like 99.9% of the time, if you are going to have free education, like go get a computer science degree. I don't know how many years it covers though. Yeah, at this point, if you're using, like if you can use your GI Bill to pay your entire computer science degree, I don't know. Like I could not make an argument in good faith to convince you to just not go for the CS degree if you're trying to become a developer. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. If your GI Bill covers the entire thing, like why even do a coding bootcamp? You're also, yeah. So I mean, a coding bootcamp can teach you more practical aspects in programming in the software engineering world to make you a little bit more marketable. There are a lot of CS grads coming out that need to learn marketable skills for the jobs that they're applying to. They think like, oh, I'm just hireable with a lot of companies. No, that's not true. There are a lot of CS students that graduate and they kind of realize how tough the market is for them, right? And companies want people with a good foundation and marketable, practical skills to hit the ground running as fast as possible. So I think whether you choose a coding bootcamp after a CS degree or you go the self-taught route and learn what you need to become more marketable, you're going to probably have to do that. Learning about Astro. I'm a software engineer. It has been a while when I played with web development tools. Or are you a site reliability engineer? That's SRE. Too much frameworks now? Yeah, there are a lot of frameworks, a lot of abstractions, a lot of libraries. That's the JavaScript world, though. 10 years, a decade would have passed. See, how do you even know if that's going to be true? You don't. Another false prediction. You don't even know. What are your early thoughts on Python? I don't think I'll use it. I don't think I'll use it for web development. I think it's popular with web development. There are a lot of Python positions. I don't think I'm that interested in it. Like if it's Python versus JavaScript, I would rather just code in JavaScript. The sad thing is most companies not having a degree is a total non-starter. I don't think that's true for most companies, no. That's not what I've seen. A lot of people will have this misconception, like prefer a CS degree or something like that means you're not getting the job without a CS degree, which is completely false. I think people will make false assumptions like that, but it's like, no, like there's nothing that I've seen that points to that being true. Like over 50% of positions won't even consider you without a CS degree. No, that's not true. I think you're just making assumptions again. My school is nothing on web dev, but I know what a pointer is. A lot of CS degrees are not going to dive that deep into web dev. I'm 60% sure. Okay. All right. Well, maybe you're right. I use Python on the job, but I also use TypeScript. Yeah, Python's really popular. That is. It's going to be way more marketable than Go. A lot of people keep pushing like new developers to learn Go that are trying to get jobs. It's like, I think it's, if you give yourself time to learn multiple languages, I think Go can be an interesting choice. But then again, you get people that continue pushing this shit on Twitter and Twitch, like, oh, now everyone should learn Go. Like, there's nuance to these recommendations that it's lost the more the message is spread. And so now there are actually new developers that are like, I need to learn Go. That's the most popular thing nowadays because they're like religiously on Twitter or they're in Prime's community or something like that. And there are way too many new developers learning Go. Python is very popular, though. There are definitely a lot of developers that do not like Python, but it is popular. Python, JavaScript or TypeScript, SQL for backend web dev are the most marketable. For web dev, Jen, thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. Welcome. Gentleman, that's what your name is.
Thanks for the fun discussions, Don. Another Twitch sub.
Yo, thanks for the Twitch sub. 5 months, man. 5 months. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the conversation. And you get a new hat. Now, here's the thing. Oh, you're a 3 month sub? What? Why does it say 5? Oh, you have the 3 month subscriber icon. When you get to 6 months, you get a new icon. I have to seriously consider whether I want to keep those sub icons. I think I'm going to still be spending a lot of time in JavaScript. I think I just want to ditch React. So I think I'm going to keep them for a while. But if I don't keep them, maybe I'll keep the hats and do something different. I don't know. I have to think about that. Backend web dev. Yeah, Python's pretty popular. JavaScript is pretty popular. Java's really popular. If you're willing to go outside web dev too. PHP is really popular. I'd say it's like, yeah, Java, PHP, Python, and JavaScript are 4 very marketable languages. Yeah, insane catch 22. You need a degree for most jobs, but the degree doesn't get marketable skills. I needed a degree in self-teaching after to get a job. Need a degree for most jobs. Not in the software engineering field. No. For junior roles, I feel like the majority of jobs require a degree. No. No, they do not. But in senior, I could see not having a degree. Like, will it make you more marketable? It can, for sure. But needed? No. I would say, like, I'd have to like really track this, but I would say maybe about 30% of positions will not even look at your, or companies will not even look at your resume if you don't have a CS degree. It's not over 50. There's no way it's over 50. Hi, Don. I thought you were going back end though now. So the Python query was regards to that move. Yeah, I mean, like, why is that relevant? I mean, like, how does that change my answer to you? I basically don't really like Python. I don't know. Again, I'm just starting with it, and there are going to be more Python-based courses in Boot.dev, but like, I don't think I have to go the Python route for backend. And it doesn't mean I won't like it in the future. Just right now, I just don't like it. Me? So what are you building as a backend dev? Can we see it? I'm just going through Boot.dev with backend. So I'll probably start live coding. I've been doing it as a relaxer at night, but I'll probably start live coding the Twitch Sprout thing again. But I'm using Nest.js with Node.js, and I'm liking it. That's what I'm doing backend wise. But I'm learning Angular. I just started learning it. I kind of like it. I figured if I like Nest, maybe I'll like Angular. We'll see. We'll see if I regret that decision. Felt like 100% when I was applying. PHP still getting used? Yeah. What do you mean? It's like the most popular backend language in code bases right now. I think my old enterprise companies with old code base, same with .NET, C#. .NET Stack is a thing, too. You're right with that. I forgot about C#. What's up, Renee? How you doing? You're seeing Go often in Canada based on my job search. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I was mainly looking for jobs in the US. That is fair. Do you have a full-time role currently? No. No, for the past 5 years, I've just been building up my business. ASP.NET is one of the most with JS and TypeScript. Isn't Python considerably more high-level than something like JS? How do you deal with something like that on top of losing things like async behavior? Is it more high-level? I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about it. I really don't know what it's capable of. We haven't... I didn't even know that it didn't have any async behavior. I know very little about it. I don't think my opinion is that important with Python right now. Let me get a little bit further with Boot.dev and maybe I'll have more of an opinion. But I just can't see myself building something in the web development world with Python. I assumed it was JS or something like Java. What's your business? Mentoring junior developers. And creating content on YouTube. And then just like affiliate partnerships and stuff like that. I think Scrimbo wanted to do a deal. I think I gotta create a clip for them to insert into some videos. But yeah, really it's just like mentorship money, sub money, stuff like that, and then ad money and affiliate deals. I get like nothing from Amazon. I keep trying Amazon Associates to try to get some revenue from it. Dude, no one buys anything with my links. I have like Yeah. I just like no one converts with Amazon, or people, I think I have to apply or accept different agreements with different countries, because I think I only get money from people that buy through the US. But like I have to have a new agreement for Canada, the UK, etc. And those agreements, I don't know, like dealing with like taxes. I'm supposed to register in different countries and have a tax ID in different countries and pay taxes when I have customers there. Some countries are more lenient, where I have to maybe like, I got to make 10,000 a month or something like that until they care about that. Some countries, if I have one customer, I'm supposed to be paying taxes on that. Like from that country. That's a pain in the ass. I think I'm going to sign up for a new service that just handles all that for me. Because I was looking at what other YouTubers said, and this is not professional advice, by the way, but some YouTubers kind of just like big YouTubers are not paying taxes in those countries. They're just like, we just don't do it. So I don't really know what the penalties are for it. I don't think they care about someone that makes as low, makes the low amount of revenue that I make from like one customer. They don't really care to come after me. But that is a whole other thing that I discovered with my business that I'm supposed to be doing. I hate tax stuff. It's so annoying. It's so complicated. I don't even know why I went into that. I don't even know if I answered your question. I just started bitching about stuff, probably. But yeah, I mainly get revenue from mentorship and affiliate partnerships. I have a full-time role and want to make some side income. What would you suggest? Well, what do you want to do on the side? You can do the Gary Vee model and like flip things that you buy at garage sales. What do you mean? Like I would just look for like a long list of things that you possibly can do, and like, do any of those things sound like something you're going to follow through with? Go for that. It's like, what do you want to do? You know? You want to make side income? Like, go do DoorDash. I'm serious. I did DoorDash. I tried it out. So if revenue ever gets tight, I wanted to make sure that I was like signed up for it, so I could just like make money on the spot if I need to as a backup. Thankfully, I haven't needed to, but I did try it out a couple times. It's a humbling experience. And I think like it kind of kicked my butt into motion with my business too. When I tried it out, I'm like, man, I don't want to really be doing this. But DoorDash is like, it's not because DoorDash sucks. It's just because I don't really want to do a part-time job if I don't have to. But just pick up a part-time job. I don't know. What do you want to do? All right. Anything else? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Chat wasn't on the screen. I forgot to turn that on. You guys can't even see each other talk. Did YouTube chat die? Hold up. Hello, are you guys there? Someone say something. Nah? Oh, okay. Maybe that's the end of the conversation. Okay, sometimes my YouTube live stream chat, it'll just like freeze up, and then I won't even know. Okay. All right, cool. All right, looks like that was a good discussion. Probably should wrap it up there. Again, I'm just like, I'm having so much trouble talking every time I'm hungover. I hate the feeling, man. I can't talk. I can't think. It's like my productivity goes out the window. But I had a good Christmas, and I hope everyone else had a good Christmas as well. Hope you get to spend it with time, or spend some time with people that you love. But I want you to think about this. You should do call-ins for content. I'd be willing to do that. People can come on my podcast. No one requests it. Like, I would have fun doing stuff like that. And I could do call-ins, but I have thought about doing that. But I'd only want to do it with... Honestly, I'd probably just do it with like YouTube subs and YouTube members. Because it's a good way to filter trolls out. Most trolls aren't willing to pay me money. But that is a thing that we could do. But I want you to think about this. A lot of people try to like develop New Year's goals. And I find that a lot of people just suck with their self-discipline, including me. It's something I continue to try to get better with, right? But I think for 2025, a lot more people should consider sacrificing something. Sacrificing something that you know is going to make you better, right? But I think a lot of people will actually do way better, not with goals in 2025, but with better self-discipline that comes with sacrificing something. So if you are someone that continues to fail at your New Year's resolutions, which most people do, I've done, try that method and see if it helps. Okay, that's all I have. All right, guys, have a good rest of your week. I'll be live tomorrow. We'll continue with the Boot.dev stuff. And yeah, I'll just see you tomorrow. All right, take care, guys. Merry Christmas.